Okay, hello everyone. So this is going to be a tarot reading about Seis Blu, better known as Tremaine. Okay, from Bad Boyz DR. He recently got Jonathan's name tatted, and he put something on his story along the lines of, "That's why everybody's mad." Even though he claims that it's supposed to be friendship tattoos, it's raising other questions as well. So let's see. Why did Seis get Jonathan's name tatted on his neck at that? Why did Seis get Jonathan's name tatted? All right, first card, and I'm actually showing you guys through the camera before I even look at it, so we're looking at it basically together. So the first card came out, the Knight of Swords, the Three of Wands, the Eight of Swords, the World. Okay. So he definitely got the tattoo quickly with the Knight of Swords. It was like a spur of the moment thing. So they could have been like having a conversation that like triggered this urge, but however it happened for Seis, it was very quick. Okay, he made the decision quick, but he definitely made it directly. Like he wasn't really pushed to do it. The Three of Wands, the number three in general, is a personal energy. So when someone reading has a Three of Wands for why they did something, it's because they personally truly wanted to. Okay, so and I do feel like, he did it with no problem. Like he wasn't really thinking too hard about it. He just did it, and after he did it, I feel like also like the Three of Wands, Eight of Swords could be like the actual like tattoo or the process of getting it. But it is possible that after he got the tattoo, thoughts did pop up and things like that. Or it could have just been like how he initially felt before he put it on the internet. Because the World card is when other people is involved, and it's basically people that you're not directly around, but people have access to you. So I do feel like the World after the Eight of Swords could be talking about the internet. Like it was unexpected and it was a big deal once he posted it, of course. And then you had the Ace of Cups. Okay, so yeah, so that's basically what the Eight of Swords is. That's basically just that initial like, oh, I'm about to post this. I know people are going to say this and that, and things like that. But at the bottom, we do have the Eight of Pentacles. So it looks like Seis and Jonathan do have like a lot of, you know, quality time spent. And I didn't even know Jonathan was locked up until I seen like another post, something about people gonna be in trouble when Jonathan get home and things like that. But it does look like, they put a lot of time in together. So that could be, of course, the culprit of Seis getting the tattoo. All right, but let's see how Jonathan felt about this tattoo Seis got. So how does Jonathan feel that Seis got this tattoo? How does Jonathan feel about Seis' tattoo? All right, so we have the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Wands, the Justice card, and the Six of Swords. Okay. And at the bottom, we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so Jonathan's energy, I guess also since he's locked up as well. But the Knight of Cups being at the bottom of the deck definitely suggests that, Jonathan definitely likes Seis, and like I said, Seis got the tattoo on his neck. So it's like, okay, that's a bit specific to get a tattoo, But with the Seven of Cups coming out, it's possible Seis got it without telling Jonathan first. Because it's almost like Jonathan didn't even know. Like, okay, with Seis, when I pulled for Seis as to, why he got it, the Knight of Swords, Three of Wands came out. And for the Seven of Cups, Nine of Wands to come out, for Jonathan is like, he probably didn't even know at first, or maybe he just seen it, like, or heard about it. I just feel like he didn't know right away. It's something about it where he didn't know right away. Because the Nine of Wands is like, this is close to the energy being public. So when the Nine of Wands come out, this means that it could mean a lot of things. First of all, it could mean like you've been through a lot, you're going through a lot has, been exposed to you. But it can also mean he might be at the end of his term too. So maybe he is getting close to release, and maybe that's just the main thing that this is pointing to. Like, all it does is make him want to get closer to his release. Nine of Wands, and then the Justice card came out, so he might be close to release. Now, I don't really know too much about that. I didn't even know he was locked up, but it's like it made him want to, like, it made him just get more focused on being released. So I don't know if he's like rah about the tattoo, but it just seems like it puts focus on him being released, because the Justice card is definitely like a legal card, or the card of the law. And then you had the Six of Swords, so it's like it just made him start really thinking about his release. But he is also with the Seven of Cups, Nine of Wands, Justice, Six of Swords. I feel like also this is saying like he could be pretty curious, but at the same time he already know like what it's bringing up when it comes to the public and things like that. He could be curious about like what people got to say about it, but I just feel like there's a focus on his release. It's almost like he's just excited, or he want to get something on the road. So it's not really too direct about the tattoo itself. It just seems like there's a focus on his release. And the Hierophant came out, the Eight of Wands came out. Yeah, so it is possible that like he might want his release to be like quiet. He might want to shock people, or well, I don't get a shock energy, but it's like he wants something about his release to be smooth or something like that. But that's what the focus is on. We have the King of Wands, so we have the Hierophant, Eight of Wands, Emperor, King of Wands. He definitely feels like he feels on top about it, strong, or it does bring out like a passion, but it's almost like it's like a proud passion embedded in his overall perception of Seis getting a tattoo. And then the Emperor King of Wands came out. So no matter what type of connection they got, we know that Jonathan does have pretty strong energy. So it's not shocking that this came out together, the Emperor King of Wands. And plus, I think he is an Aries. I think, yep. So he's all for it, but I feel like he's just mainly focused on his release. And he probably even sees it like as a real genuine commitment as well. But it's like it definitely like boosts, and it's not even like an ego, like cocky ego, because Jonathan is that dude. Like, he does hair and stuff like that, so he's standing for something already. So it's not like a tattoo is going to boost his ego, but it's like he does get like an energy boost from it. And with the Hierophant, Eight of Wands, he definitely likes it. It's like an energetic boost for him, or at least for their connection, whatever type of connection they have. So let's see what type of connection they have. What type of connection that Seis Blu and Jonathan Wright have? What type of connection does Seis Blu and Jonathan Wright have? Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is showing up a second time, but now it's coming up for the type of connection. Knight of Swords. Seven of Cups coming out for a second time. The Death card. Page of Cups. Okay. Nine of Cups. And a Three of Cups. Okay. So this does show like, okay, of course they probably met on Bad Boyz or whatever the case may be. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So it's saying, I kind of like, because when I pull like 8 cards, I technically see it as like 2 rows. So in the first row, we have the Hierophant, and then we have the Death card. So I feel like it started off like more work related. Like they met on Bad Boyz initially, and we had the Knight of Swords, Seven of Cups. So I feel like they have something that's a little more like emotionally connected now. There's like an emotional aspect to it now. Not sensitive, but there is an emotionally fulfilling aspect to their connection now. At first, with the Page of Pentacles, Hierophant, Knight of Swords, it's like at first, you know, I feel like with the Page of Pentacles, Hierophant, it was like a respectable impression type of thing, but it transpired to something that's more fulfilling, enjoyable. So, you know, it's definitely some type of friendship. So it's more enjoyable now. They have an emotional bond, okay, with the Death card, Page of Cups, Nine of Cups, and Three of Cups. So there's something about their connection that has changed for the better. It has a more emotional aspect to it, or at least a more emotionally fulfilling aspect to it. And then we have the Moon card. Yeah, there's definitely something private about their connection as well. But for the most part, they do have like a more they are bonding emotionally now. So it's like their connection is definitely based on emotional bonding. It initially started, you know, probably very integral, very professional, but now there's like genuine emotional satisfaction involved, or they just, you know, they're leading with their emotions more now in their friendship. So we have the Ten of Pentacles after the Four of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, it seems like, you know, the emotional aspect that they're leading with is, you know, better, it's healthier. With the Moon card and then a Four of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles coming out, it's like their connection can end up having some issues if things are not enjoyable, because it looks enjoyable with the Page of Cups, Nine of Cups, Three of Cups. So if they keep that friend hangout energy alive and not like get too serious or too emotional, then things won't, you know, get weird and uninteresting. Like they need to keep things fun, interesting, and upbeat. So I do want to clarify. But yeah, their connection is like, it's no one thing. So it's not like really geared towards any one thing. And I don't see wands, so it may genuinely be a friendship, okay? But initially when we saw that tattoo, we probably all had the same reaction or thought. But I'm not getting wands, so I don't think they're like, you know, doing anything. But they do have like a friendship. What is the Page of Pentacles? I'm going to just clarify everything. What is the Page of Pentacles? Nine of Swords. We have the Emperor with the Hierophant card. Yeah, things was very professional initially between them. We have the High Priestess with the Knight of Swords. And conversations actually didn't happen easy. It probably was a little difficult to even like feel like that doorway was open initially. Okay, but we have the Sun card clarifying the Seven of Cups. Yeah, it wasn't really clear if, you know, if there was going to even be any interaction. So initially the interaction wasn't even a piece of cake. It was very professional, but also there was a confusion or a mystery about, you know, these two, or it just wasn't really, like, I feel like they didn't even really know if they were going to interact type of thing. Like it was a mystery with the initial interaction, but we do have the King of Swords with the Death card. So I don't know what Seis sign is, but I know I was about to say Justin. Jonathan is an Aries, so I know, he will be fire. So I'm kind of seeing Seis as like this King of Swords. He might have been the one that initiated some type of initial contact, or just might have said something, and maybe that kind of opened the doorway or something like that. But we have the Two of Cups with the Page of Cups. We have the Magician card with the Nine of Cups, and we have the Two of Wands with the Three of Cups. So yeah, they have a pretty good connection with that emotional, and it's like they have a personal like connection, so they do well, with each other, not with other people interfering. They have a more direct personal friendship. You know how some people have a friendship and it's okay if other people is involved, but they have a friendship where it's like very personable, like one-on-one or me and you type of friendship. And then we have the Seven of Wands moon. So Four of Cups, Justice, and we have the Ten of Pentacles with the Ten of Swords, and we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so technically they kind of met or connect through the whole Bad Boyz thing. So it's like with this Five of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, I'm wondering like, will they not be on the show together, but maybe they'll still like make some type of appearances that possibly got money involved or something like that. But yeah, they do have a connection that, with the Justice card clarifying the Four of Cups, and it's by the moon. It's like it could be aspects of their connection that's not always like right or integral, or even respectable at times, because you got all of the cards that can kind of focus on integrity and respect in a reading. The Hierophant and Emperor came out together in the first row, and Justice is down here on the last row, but it's clarifying the Four of Cups, and it's surrounded by the moon as well. So it's like they have a connection that's like, it's not going to always be about what's right or what people like. So, don't really expect this type of duo to be like positive. But I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, it's not really truly positive anyway. But yeah, they have something that's, more stable now. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles got clarified by the Ten of Swords. So this is not really about money. This Ten of Pentacles isn't about money, but it is about like having a connection that has more grounding for the most part. And, it's strong standing now compared to what it initially was. Because like I said, they initially met, like it wasn't really clear that they were even going to interact. Yeah, the Sun card would clarify the Seven of Cups. So it wasn't even clear that they was going to interact. And that's what that, Ten of Swords clarifying the Ten of Pentacles mean. Initially, it wasn't clear if they was going to interact. So yeah, they have a type of connection where they have a very close friendship. And of course, since Jonathan is locked up right now, of course they can't really talk and interact as much. Okay, so if it's literally pointing to their current friendship, that top row could actually be the fact that they can't communicate as much as they want to right now. But as far as the type of connection that they have, they have something that's very close and personal. They have a close and personal connection. And especially Seis's perspective, like they have a close connection. All right. So yeah. And this is liable to change like when Jonathan comes out. Of course, we will probably see more, active energy, but since Jonathan is locked up, there's not really much interacting they could do right now. So I'm actually not shocked to see this reading spread now, because there's only so much interacting they could do until Jonathan does get released. All right. But that is the reading, guys. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next one.